Hello, beautiful people. Today I'm hoping to share with you all of the books that I have recently acquired in my life. Very lucky. Some of them I was gifted, some of them I sneakily went and bought myself. If you are new to my channel, hello, I am April. You can think of me as your fairy bookish godmother. On this channel, my goal is to hook you up with your next 5-star read, and hopefully my next 5-star read too. And these are just a few of the books that live rent-free in my head. If you like what you see, hit the bell, subscribe, stay a while. The first two books I want to share with you are books that I went to the bookstore and bought myself. I just could not help it. First up is Sunrise on the Reaping. This is the latest Hunger Games book by Suzanne Collins. I am currently reading this when I'm filming this and really liking it. Like it rivals my experience of reading the Hunger Games the first time. If you don't know, the Hunger Games series is like a YA series. And I don't read a lot of YA. I will just say that. Dystopian kind of book in which there are 13 districts and they're all like, they have different classes. District 1 is like very upper class. District 13, which is the people we follow, are the very lower class. So they work in coal mines. They have a hard life. And in this book, we follow Haymitch on the 50th anniversary of the Hunger Games, where they take 2 kids from each of the districts, throw them into an arena, and basically make them fight to the death. And we're following Haymitch here in the 50th anniversary, and it's fantastic so far. I'm really liking it. I like Haymitch. I love what it says about society. I just think that it's kind of important at this moment, at all moments, but at this moment, wow, it definitely says a lot about our society. And I appreciate that at this moment. So I'm going to read to you the first line. This is something I do in all of my hauls to see if the first line is like a 5-star first line to me, which by the way, a 5-star first line is different for everyone. To me, it's like, it pulls you in immediately. You almost want to drop everything you're doing and start reading the book because it hits you hard or something strange has happened. And yes, so 5-star first line. Or first line, I should say, Sunrise on the Reaping. Happy birthday, Haymitch. Not a 5-star first line, but I'm loving it. Next up is a Canadian book. Very, very happy to have The Paris Express by Emma Donoghue. So Emma Donoghue, I believe, is Canadian-Irish. This book takes place in 1895 and follows the French railway disaster, which actually occurred. I know nothing about that. One of the things I love about historical fiction is learning about a piece of history that you know nothing about and feeling like emotionally involved in something. I really, really like that. And it's great when they focus on pockets of time that your average Joe like me might not know much about. And so on this, in this book, you follow several people on this train over the course of this fateful day when the train, I don't know, collides or comes off the rails. I don't know what happens. Among the passengers, we follow an anarchist intent on destruction, a young boy traveling alone, a pregnant woman fleeing her home village for the anonymity of the big city, a medical student who suspects a girl may have a fatal disease, and the railway crew. Everybody just trying to survive. It just sounds fantastic. So let me read the first line of the Paris Express for you. 8:30, embark Granville. 8:30 in the morning on the 22nd of October, 1895 in Granville on the Normandy coast. That's not a 5-star first line. Okay, so the next 3 books were very kindly given to me by one of you guys, Lisa. I met up with Lisa. She and her husband, her lovely husband, they came to Ottawa. They were kind of passing through, and I think they made a stop in Ottawa and had the time to meet with me. We met at a bookstore and it was so lovely. She bought me 3 books. She and her husband bought me 3 books and I bought her 1 book. I bought her Night Watching. She's from the States, and everything that's going on in the States, it's like, this woman needs like an escape. Night Watching might not be the nicest escape because it's about a woman who has her house broken into and she's trying to like keep her children silent. So not the nicest escape, but like you are gripped reading that book. In any case, that's what I bought her. And then she bought me 3 books and they all look fantastic. The first is like, has very much Canadian vibes. It's called The Warm Hands of Ghosts by Catherine Arden. And it's historical fiction, takes place in 1918 in January. This follows 2 perspectives. We've got Laura in 1918. She is a nurse during World War I, and I believe she's hurt on the battlefield, or somehow she is injured. And so she goes home, but she's leaving her brother behind. And when she gets home, I believe she gets word that he has passed away. And she just has a feeling that that's not right. She goes back to Flanders and she starts working at a private hospital, and she's hearing all of these rumors about a ghost. She's hearing rumors about a person who gives soldiers wine and these soldiers forget. So she's wondering, like, did something happen to my brother and he's actually alive here? Then you follow Freddie, the brother. He wakes up in this moment in complete disarray and confusion. There's been an explosion and he has landed in a box on the battlefield and he's kind of stuck with this German soldier. They're on opposite sides, but they end up making some sort of friendship, and they both decide that they can't imagine going back to war, and so they desert. And they end up meeting a man who makes people, all of their terrible memories vanish. And it's about their experience. And the reason that this is Canadian is that they are both, this brother and sister, are from Halifax, Nova Scotia. So, sounds so good. Let's read the first line of The Warm Hands of Ghosts. Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canadian Maritimes, January 1918. Freddie's clothes came to Veith Street instead of Blackthorn House, and the telegram that ought to have preceded them didn't reach Laura at all. I don't know if that's a 5-star first line, although you are intrigued as to like why did the clothes go from one place to another? Anyway, it sounds really good. It's got lots of blurbs on the back from like Kate Quinn and Anthony Horowitz, so like good sign, right? Then she got me a book called Daughter of the Merciful Deep, and she got this book for me in particular because I mentioned that I really loved Their Eyes Were Watching God, and there's things in this that reminded her of that. This follows a young girl named Jane Edwards. She is a woman or a girl who hasn't spoken since she was 11 years old, when armed riders have expelled her family from their hometown. Now, it's, I think, 12 years later, and she is now living in an all-black town. I think that's why she thought I would like it, because Zora Neale Hurston in Their Eyes Were Watching God, we follow a woman who lives in an all-black town. Now, there is a threat that a dam might actually wash away the entire town itself. And when a stranger shows up, who might have like some magical abilities, she thinks that he might be the key to saving this town that has done so much for her. So let us read the first line. Authority arrives. It says, if you do not let your neighbors have 9, you shall not have 10. Okay, here's the first line. This wasn't the first time Daniel Braithwaite had found me going through someone's trash. Oh, I like that. I really like that. Why is she going through someone's trash? I like that. I think that's a 5-star first line right there. And the last book she got from me is Lula Dean's Little Library of Banned Books. And it's just so timely with so many places in America just banning books right, left, and center, just wildly, which is not a good idea, as you can imagine. It says, welcome to Troy, Georgia, home to a book banning busybody with a giant chip on her shoulder, her sworn enemy, a former cheerleading captain, an international movie star, homicidal homemaker, the town librarian who must stop her from killing, and the list goes on, and Georgia's favorite drag queen. All brought together by a neighborhood lending library. It just sounds really, really great. Lula Dean is a busybody in Georgia, and she's got a mission to remove pornography and propaganda from the town's libraries. And so she decides to build a lending library, and I believe now someone is going in and putting those kinds of books there, which sounds fantastic. That sounds great to me. So, and it's dedicated for all the good people down south. I love that. Let's read the first line. Ronnie Childers was tripping his balls off in Jackson Square when an angel of the Lord appeared before him. That sounds funny. Yeah, it really does sound funny. I feel like I'm going to want to read this in the summer. I think that's my goal. So thank you so much, Lisa, and your lovely hubby. That was so, so nice. I love when I get to meet you guys. So next is a book that my mom got for me. She was like, I wish I had this when I was a mom. Reclaim Your Spark, or mom of young kids. An overwhelmed mom's survival guide. Simple steps for moms to rise, thrive, and shine in just 4 weeks. I will say, as Nora gets older, I feel like being a mom is a little bit easier. Is she sassy sometimes? 100%. And that is challenging. But there's like, it's just calmer generally. That said, I will probably still need this kind of book. A little self-help never did me wrong. All right. First line, introduction. I see you, Mama. You are carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. Has anybody out there read this book? Did you enjoy it? Did it help you? I would love to know. 2 more books. Both of them I got at the secondhand shop. The first is a Kate Quinn. I've started reading Kate Quinn again because I actually feel like her writing is getting better and better. And so I thought that I would pick up The Rose Code. This takes place in like 2 timelines. We've got 1940 and then 1947. In 1940, we're following 3 women who answer the call to a mysterious country estate in Bletchley Park, where I believe they're working to break German military codes. Now you flash forward 7 years later, and it seems as though the 3 women are reunited by a mysterious encrypted letter. Now they are now enemies. I don't know what happened in those 7 years. And they're brought together. And that just sounds great. I love the premise of that. The Rose Code. Let's read the first line. Prologue. November 8th, 1947, London. The enigma arrived in the afternoon post, sealed, smudged, and devastating. I love that. That's a 5-star first line. 100%. Also, this is enormous. How many pages is this? What in the world? Like 600 pages. Enormous, but I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be a good one. Loving that. And then the last book that I got, I was so excited that this was there. It's a gothic kind of horror book. And usually when you go into the horror section of like these like secondhand shops, there's nothing other than Stephen King. And I don't mind Stephen King. I don't love Stephen King. In any case, there was The Black Feathers by Rebecca Netley. It says, when a spirit visits, they leave a trace. Ooh. When Annie marries widower Edward Stonehouse and arrives at Guardbridge, his windswept estate on the Yorkshire moors, she thinks she has finally put her darkness of her past behind her. She is mistaken. Edward's sister Iris still lives in the family home. A taxidermist and medium, she urges Annie to watch out for black feathers, claiming that they mark the spot where a restless spirit has walked. At first, Annie dismisses these warnings, and then the black feathers she finds in the house, I think, changes her mind. One night, she can't ignore 2 horrifying words drawn on the mirror in the bedroom. "See me." What exactly happened to Edward's first wife and young son? Why is his sister so disturbed? And what does this ghostly visitor want with Annie? I wonder if this is going to have Rebecca vibes at all. I hope so. So let's read the first line. Even before I arrive, I dream of Guardbridge. It's like I dream of Manderley still. So yeah, I think that's going to be great. I'm really looking forward to reading this. Again, probably will wait until like the fall, like a little more moody vibes for something gothic-y like this. Yeah, those are all of the books that I have recently picked up and acquired. Let me know in the comments below, are there any books that you have recently bought or are looking to buy this month? So many good books. I love it. It's a great problem to have, isn't it? I will talk with you soon. Goodbye.